Hello everyone, I welcome you to my YouTube channel. Here I speak all about civil engineering, and here you will be finding lectures about various topics of civil engineering. So today I am going to speak about highway planning and alignment. So in the last video you have studied about uh, history of road construction, all the developments that took place time to time while developing the roads. In this, you are going to learn about the planning which are required to set up a new road and any kind of management program which has to be done to make a proper serviceable and workable road, and the suggestive alignment with which it should be kept, meaning the radius of curvature or uh, the radius of curvature of the road or any setback distance or in the possible side distances, etc. So first of all, this chapters begins with classification of roads, and here I have classified the roads according to the basis of location and function. On the basis of location and function, these roads have been divided in seven different types of ways. So first of them is the national highway. The national highway, as you know, these are the main highways running through the length and breadth of the country, and these are mainly responsible for connecting ports, foreign highways, state capitals, etc. So, these are actually the main highways of the country, and they run through the length and breadth of the country. Wherever you go, you will get an NH which will be connecting various ports, foreign highways, and state capitals. And these are very necessary for a good connectivity and network of roads in a particular country. Also, the data says 30 to 50% of total roads is NH. Okay. Next is the state highways. The state highways are basically, suppose a national highway is connecting some important parts of a country, but a state highway connects important parts and towns of a state, and also they connect the cities of the state to the national highway. Suppose a national highway is also passing through that city, so it will connect it to the important towns and cities of that particular state. Okay. Next is the major district road. The major district roads do have same specification as that of state highways, and they connect areas of production and market with state highways and railways. So they have a special function, like they run through the districts. First of all, as the name suggests, major district roads, also other district roads. These two types of roads are mainly prevalent in the districts, that is a lesser unit than the state. And the major district road has same specification as that of SH and connect areas of production and markets with SH and railway, whereas the other district roads have lower specifications as compared to MDR, as compared to the major district road, and they are responsible for connecting MDR and railways. Next is the village roads. So village roads connects the group of villages. They're mainly prevalent in villages. First of all, they connect the groups of villages, mostly unmetalled, and as you know, they are known as the kacha roads. Kacha roads made of maroon or mud, and therefore they are unusable during monsoon. And this is a very difficult thing for the gram panchayats and the villagers while using these roads, and these roads make situations very unpalatable in villages. Okay. And next are the border roads. Border roads maintained by Border Roads Development Organization, and they are running throughout the border. Wherever you see there are two, wherever you see a border between two nations, suppose India and Pakistan or India and Bangladesh, you will be seeing two catwire fencing, and between them one road will be running. Around them one road will be running. Those roads are known as the border roads, and they are 7961 kilometers in India. 7961 kilometers in India. It's like almost they have tried to cover the entire outline of the Indian landmass, which is whichever comes to the border of or the vicinity of the of another countries. Next are the express highways, connects important places and highly fast moving traffic. So guys, I want to tell you that out of these seven roads like national highway, state highway, major district road, or other district road, village road, border roads and express highways, these express highways to have the fastest moving traffic even as compared to the national highways. Next thing, NHDP, National Highway Development Programs, and they form the major part of the Golden Quadrilateral. A Golden Quadrilateral is a road which actually connects the four metropolitan cities of our country, like Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, and Chennai. In other words, they are responsible for connecting the country from north, south, east, and west. Okay, next, the factors affecting highway alignment. The Here now we are going to read about the factors which affect the alignment of highway, like how a highway should be placed. First of all, availability of road building materials. See, whenever you are building a road, whenever you are making a road, the road building material should be available nearby, like the aggregates or the bitumen should be available to the construction company or to the person who are associated with the construction. So the ease of availability will make the building of roads easier. Next is crossings like streams, river, railway. Like wherever you see railway crossing or a river crossing, the planning is something separate over there. Like for a stream or river you need to construct bridges, but for a railway you need to construct level crossing. Okay, so everything needs a planning. Like next is the geological features, like the earthwork stability. Suppose for making the subgrade, the proper embankment should be made. So for that we need to know the stability of the earth, whether that earth is stable or not. The land acquisition, the amount of land that has been acquired by the government or the competent authority. Next is the easy subgrades and the curves. The curves should be easier. The subgrade should be easier. Like if the grades and the curves are very tough and very difficult, then it is also difficult for the drivers to drive on those. Accidents may occur, and or even if accidents are not occurring, the journey won't be smooth for such cases. Next is the obligatory points. To speak about the obligatory points, I have shown you a diagram. Like here is one river, and PQ has to be the connecting road, but this place is not suitable for making bridges. And at the same time, scientists and engineers have found that this place is suitable bridge site. You cannot make bridge over here, but you can certainly make bridge over here. So for that, the road cannot be traveling through this direction. The road has to be diverted in this way. So these are some obligations. These are some obligations that are available with the highways when we are planning or developing the highways. Next, you must be able to ensure proper drainage. Traffic is a concern, that is the amount of traffic that will be flowing on the road, because if the traffic is more, if the traffic is huge, then the road sections will be wider, and if the traffic is less, road section will be lesser. And at the same time, it also depends upon the type of the traffic. Like if it is an urban traffic, you're certainly going to have ODRs or arterials or normal roads to connect the parts of the city. But if the traffic is somewhat a village passerbys, then a village road or a kacha road will be sufficient for this. And then there are some miscellaneous facts like foreign territory, good visibility in any climate. Like the road should be visible in any possible climate. Like during fog, there's a lot of fog or smog developing in a road. Particularly, such things happen in places like Delhi. So smog is a very dangerous thing and has been creating very troubles for all the road passerbys, and it does create some unpalatable accidents. So smog must not be there, but even if it is there, the road planning should be made in such a way that it should be trying to avoid such climatorial factors. Okay, and again, if there is a foreign territory, you cannot make road in its vicinity. The next topic is about the surveys of the road. So about this, if you want to know in detail, you can go through any book. Here I have given you the preliminary idea for what we do in road surveys. Like suppose the first thing is the planning surveys. Planning surveys are required for the roads for their development, and for the planning you need to know various factors like the economy, the engineering ability of the road, the finance, and the traffic studies. So there are particularly four studies which you need to do along with planning surveys. Is the so that you get a good data about the type of the road that has to be made. Next, there are engineering surveys, reconnaissance surveys, preliminary surveys, and location survey. So about them, if you are going to read in detail, you can get it in any book. This topic doesn't require a big explanation. It is totally theoretical, and you can get them in any books. So I decided not to put my time over here and rather discuss some more important topics like the road plans. Okay, the road plans first developed in the British era. Sorry, the road plan started developing in the British era in 1943, and the first road plan was hence from 1943 to 1963. So the commission started making 20-year plans. Commission started making 20-year plans. In a span of 20 years, there will be some special discussions or special developments with regarding roads will be occurring throughout the country, and let's read them one by one. The first 20-year plan was the Nagpur plan, where it was decided that the total length of the road shall be 532700 kilometer with a density of 16 kilometer of road per 100 square kilometer area. Suppose we have an area of 100 square kilometer, but suppose we are taking a section like this is 10 kilometer and this is 10 kilometer, total it is 100 kilometer. So in this 100 kilometer square road section, uh, 100 kilometer square area of the country, 16 kilometer length of road shall be available. Okay, so it was one of the first plan that was made for sure to ensure that each and every parts of the country must be having a proper amount of roads, a proper network of roads, and each and every part of the country gets connected. Okay, and it is when in this Nagpur plan the five types of roads were developed, that is the national highway, the state highway, MDR, ODR, and VR, about which we read in the earlier section. They also recommended the star grid pattern. They recommended the star grid pattern, and development allowance of 15% was kept. So 15% allowance were kept for suppose there was a fund of 10 crores, so of which 15%, that is 1.5 crore, has to be kept for future development of roads. Formula for the length of the NH, SH and MDR is something like this. This is, yeah, you can memorize the formula, though numericals don't come from this in any competitive exams properly, and is one of the most neglected topic, but still you can have a good idea about it. A by 5 plus B by 20 plus N plus 5T plus D minus R is the total formula for the total length of NH, SH and MDR, where A is the agricultural area of province in square kilometer, B is the non-agricultural area in square kilometer, N is the number of towns and villages having a population of 2000 to 5000, T is the number of towns having a population of over 5000, and D an allowance for agriculture and industrial development. R is the railway mileage in the area under consideration. Similarly, the formula for length of ODR and VR calculation is like V by 5 plus Q by 2 plus R plus 2S plus D. Q is the number of villages with population 501 to 1000, R is the number of villages with population 1001 to 2000, S is the number of villages with population 2001 to 5000, and D is an allowance for agricultural and industrial development during the next 20 years. The major drawback of the plan is that the lengths of NH and SH was lesser than the planned target. So it was like the funds were bought to the states and even to the center, but the states were busy in making ODRs, MDRs, and VRs. Developing the VRs, MDR, ODR was their prime interest, and therefore they forgot about the plan of making the lengths of NH and SH to a larger extent. So most of this 532700 kilometer was covering the ODR, MDR, and VRs. So this was a very big drawback, as you know, NH and SH are very important for connecting major towns and cities in a country. So the drawback of the plan is that the lengths of NH and SH was lesser than the plan targets, in spite of having total achievement higher than the targeted value. They did achieve something higher than the targeted value, but the lengths of NH and SH weren't sufficient. The second 20-year plan is the Bombay plan, that was from 1961 to 1981. So you can see the first plan was kept till 1963, but whenever we found this particular drawback, the plan reduced and we had to make the plan in 1961 itself, in the second 20-year plan. So the second 20-year plan was from 1961 to 1981, and this is also known as the Bombay plan, where the targeted road length aimed 32 kilometer per 100 square kilometer, which was something like 16 kilometer for Nagpur plan, but for Bombay plan, that is the second 20-year road plan, it was aimed to kept it 32 kilometer per 100 square kilometer. So the road network started increasing. Maximum distance of any place in a developed area would be 6.4 kilometer. So distance of any place in a developed area would be 6.4 kilometer from metal road and 2.4 kilometer from any category of roads. So if you have a metal road running in any part of the country, so maximum distance of a place could be 6.4 kilometers away from it, not more than that. So here this point shows you that a good target was being made so that each and every parts of the country get connected through roads, and 2.4 kilometer from any category of roads. Okay, so like 2.4 kilometer was the least, like for even for metalled or even for unmetalled, 2.4 kilometer distance was necessary for any town or place or a village or a city to be away from that road. Minimum 2.4 kilometer. 1600-kilometer expressways have been considered in the plan, and above 1000 in semi hilly areas and above 500 in hilly areas must be connected by metal road. So 1600-kilometer expressways have been considered in the plan, and above 1000 in semi hilly areas and above 500 in hilly areas must be connected by metal road. A development allowance of 5% shall be provided for future developments. Yeah, it was seen that 15% was way too much. We need to make the developments now itself. Before before thinking about future, yeah, we need to think about future. You need to keep some allowances for future, but 15% was way too much. Rather, you should provide that much fund, that much money for the development which is taking place now. Next, traffic engineering cells should be established in each state. So, after this successful 20-year plan of the second 20-year plan, the Bombay plan, during 1981, the third 20-year road plan, that is the Lucknow plan, was developed, where roads were classified into primary, secondary, and tertiary road system. All the villages with 500 population shall be connected by weather routes, and overall road density was targeted to 82 kilometer per 100 square kilometer area. So you are seeing that the developments were taking place throughout the country, and the road networks, the amount of road density was being increased from 16 in the first, 32 in the second, and then to 82 in the third 20-year road plan. The NH network should be expanded in form of square grids of 100-kilometer sites, so that no part of the country is over 50 kilometer away from NH. So no part should be 50 kilometer away from the NH. Previously, this thing was not taken into account. Yeah, that 6.4 kilometer thing, that if a good road is 6.4 kilometer away from your place, it was considered okay. But now a 50 kilometer minimum distance should be kept even from the NH. Not only good roads, from the NH 50-kilometer distance must be kept, so that no part of the country is being detached or is too far away from a national highway. 2000-kilometer expressways have been considered in the plan along with the major traffic corridors to provide fast travels. You know about the traffic corridors of India, the east-west corridor and the north-south corridor. These are the two roads which connect the north and south and east and west simultaneously. And along with that, 2000-kilometer expressways was considered in the third 20-year road plan. Previously, expressways were not being considered for the highway development in this country. Next is the road pattern. First is the rectangular or the block pattern. So here I have attached a Google map of Chandigarh. You can see the roads are in rectangular patterns. See, you can see small rectangles, you can see like road networks are something like this, and the buildings or any other places for public use other than the roads will be in these square places. So as a whole, when we look from the top, we get a network of rectangular or block patterns in the road. So this is one type of road network, and it is found in Chandigarh of India. Next, radial or star pattern, radial or star and block pattern. So here you can see the Rajiv Chowk area of Delhi. It is radial because various roads are trying to come and meet at one point, just like any other radial pattern of flow or radial pattern observation. You can see all the roads are coming and hitting to one place, and you are getting a star like appearance with blocks around you. So this is the radial or star pattern, star and block pattern. Next comes the radial or star and circular pattern. So guys, here I need you to get the difference between radial or star and circular pattern and block pattern, because in this block pattern you can see clear blocks. Okay, but here in the radial or star and circular pattern you will see circle. All are coming forming a part of the circle, not blocks. Next is the radial or star and grid pattern. So here you will be getting grids. These are quite similar, and I don't know why they are getting differences between this, but still somewhat they look different from each other. So many of the students do get confused. So here is the radial or star and grid pattern. Here is the radial or star and circular pattern, and here is the radial or star and block pattern. You need not to worry about the notes because I will be attaching it with the video, and you can easily download it. Next is the hexagonal pattern. Here's another pattern. It is found near the India Gate area of Delhi, and you can see it is forming a hexagon over here. So that was all about the highway planning and alignment. Thank you. Please like, subscribe and share this video. Subscribe to my channel and place the bell icon for all kinds of notifications. Thank you.